Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat with the grad dean here in the Jindal School. I'm Monica Powell. I'm the Senior Associate Dean and Graduate Dean for the Jindal School, and I absolutely love coming to have these conversations with our students because you never know where the conversation may go. There's always something exciting, something eventful, and generally something humorous that happens during our chat. So welcome. I hope that all of you are safe. I hope all of you are healthy. I hope that all of you have regained power in your living places, your work, and that water is suitable and healthy to drink. We have a colleague here who still has no hot water, and it looks like it's going to be another week before they get it. So we know there's still some struggle that's going on out there. We also hope that everybody is excited as I am about being shot with the new vaccine. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm excited that there is now a third option, and I cannot wait to the point that we can reach herd immunity and all get back together and make a whole lot of noise in the business school. I swear, you folks, I mean, I walk around this business school and it is so quiet. I mean, if I could sing, I would have the acoustics that are perfect for like a Sound of Music performance. But unfortunately, the acoustics are not good, and what few people are in the building might then leave if they heard me sing. But nonetheless, we are here and ready to commence and get things back to normal in fall. If you haven't heard from President Benson's comments and recent communications from the university, we're expecting fall to be just like fall of 19 was, back in the classrooms, back in meeting student organizations on a regular basis, back in the Career Center, meeting with employers and doing mock interviews, and back just being the rowdy, noisy, engaged, and wonderfully energized school that we are. So we're looking forward to that. Obviously, if circumstances are such that we need to pivot, we will do that. But you know, come fall, the gang is going to all be back right here and ready to see our students, not just their eyes or their, you know, their masked face, but actually see and realize that they're three-dimensional, that they have, you know, the backs of the heads and, you know, that kind of stuff. We're looking forward to that. We do have some visitors with us today. So I want to introduce our visitors and let them say hello. I always have my partner in crime, David Widdifield, with us. David, you want to say hello to everybody?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Just like Dean Powell said, I know everybody's starting to get back to normal, and hopefully where you are, your power's on, your internet's up, your water's working, and you're not having major repairs on your houses. But no, glad to always do this, and it's been great to get reconnected with all my students in my classes this week, too.
Well, thank you, David. I appreciate that. We also have one of my favorite people down in the advising office, Angela Howard, with us. She is our assistant director for the advising operation. She's a leader on the grad side of the house. And of course, she is the owner of all the critical information that Monica constantly needs at her fingertips. So Angela, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Howard. I hope that I'm not the only one that has the critical information for Dean Powell, but if I am, I will be sure to be at work every day, maybe Saturday and Sunday too, just in case it needs to.
You know, Angela, whenever I need quick information, you are always my resource, as is Karina Cantua. So we are excited. You know, this has been a long journey through the last 13 months. You know, I think back to a year ago. Norma and I were in the office a year ago. The university quickly looked like they were getting ready to go to shelter in place. And never in a million years would we have thought that this journey was going to have us in the exact same place we were on March 1 of last year. But you know what's really remarkable is the response to it. Not just the response of the Jindal School and the university as a whole at transitioning all of these courses to these new modalities and getting faculty up to speed on technologies. And it's really kind of a tribute to our students. You guys have just been amazing at being agile and versatile and willing to make the adjustments and not let the situation keep you from moving your life forward. So while I'm really proud of us as an institution and as a school certainly our faculty and our technical people who are amazing. I'm really proud of our students. You guys have just kept right on plowing forward so that you can launch the next phase of your career life in a really positive way. And I think that what you've been through and how you've responded to it is going to be a huge asset as you go to interview with employers and negotiate the next phase of your life. But I know that the next phase for most students' life, unless you are graduating, is you're concerned about registration. And there are going to be a zillion questions around registration. The number one question of late is, what are the modalities of instruction going to be like this fall? The university's announced 3. There will be face-to-face, hybrid, and online. Now, that does not mean that there might be some face-to-face classes that faculty might have virtual components, because remember, all of our faculty have embraced all this technology, and there have been great efficiencies that have been grown. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some virtual meetings or some recorded classes that they might have in a face-to-face class. And you may even see more hybrid classes this fall. In the academic world, we call that the flipped classroom. And what that means, oh, thank you, Norma, so much. Norma is the individual who is like our Wizard of Oz behind the scenes. She just runs everything behind the scenes for us. This was the email that the president sent out on the 9th of February, and she's highlighted those 3 options that we're going to see in terms of modalities this fall. I've heard from a lot of graduate students who really liked the remote aspect. I imagine that we're going to see the elements of that remote factored into the blended and hybrid classroom setting. In the academic world, we call that the flipped classroom. And that's where, there's some contents of a course that are much easier delivered in a lecture format. So faculty might have recorded lectures that will help students, so that what happens in the classroom is more an engagement between the students, or a case study, or a set of presentations. But we're excited, very excited, about those academic silver lining components that will follow us into fall of 2021. So that answers one of the questions that we've been getting a lot of, which is, are all 5 of those modalities coming back? Nope, 3 of those modalities are coming back. Another big question is, when can I see the schedule? Angela, share with everybody when they're going to be able to see the schedule and when they can start to register for fall classes.
So for fall 2021, the schedule should be released by March 29th. Thank you, Norma. You guys can see that the calendar is now up on the screen. On March 29th, you'll be able to see 2 things: the fall schedule on Coursebook and in Orion, and your enrollment appointment date. So your enrollment appointment date is the date that you can enroll online yourself within Orion. That is also the date that, if you need assistance, advising can also help you on that date and time, but we can't enroll you before that date or time begins. So until your enrollment starts, you have time to plan. So from March 29th until probably the first week, or about the second week of April, I'm going to say around April 5th, that week. Until that time, you do have some time to plan, and you can look at the schedule. You can look at your courses that you've taken before. If you're not new, if you're a continuing student, you will have an enrollment, a degree plan that's already been completed for you. So you'll be able to look at that and see what classes you need to complete for the next semester. If you're a new student, you would hopefully have already spoken to advising and your program, so you know what your first semester classes will be. And then you can plan for those and see which times work best for you. And then once your enrollment appointment starts on that date and time, you can then enroll yourself in Orion. I would say also be sure to check that you don't have any holds on your account. That is usually one of the biggest problems or obstacles that students do find when they're enrolling. They may not have checked their account before, so a hold could have popped up before registration began. So double check that so that you'll be able to enroll without any barriers.
Angela, let me ask one clarification question that I get asked a lot. So we talk about these degree plans or these degree audits. Can you tell students where exactly they find that? And can you also tell them how they can play with it a little bit so that it can help them in terms of whether or not they should retake a class and what grade they might need to make, or the impact on the core GPA versus the overall GPA?
Yes. So your your degree plan or degree audit, we call it both, that's found in e-learning. So I guess every few months, I would say, the advising department will go through your degree audits and upload updated degree audits into your e-learning so that you're able to, one, plan for the future, and two, see what classes that you need to complete for your degree. We base this degree plan on the catalog, so you can also find your classes there on the UTD website for the catalog that you came under, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But once you go into your e-learning, you will find there is a classroom or a organization for just for you when it comes to your program. So if you're business analytics, you'll see that your degree plan is under that area in
Yeah, and
e-learning.
that's way down in the middle at the bottom of the e-learning screen. You're going to see
Yes.
this category for organizations. That's where it's going to be. It's not going to be up at the top or on the side. It's going to be down in the middle at the bottom.
And you will get, usually e-learning sends some type of notification once you are, so something is put into your e-learning. So it's almost like a grade. So when you get graded for an assignment, you get a notification in e-learning. Same thing happens when it comes to your audits. We usually email you as well, so you'll know that you have a new audit in e-learning. Or if you're just asking, we're going to email you anyway and let you know that we have completed that audit. When you go into it, you will see that we have completed, if you have classes that you have grades for, we put those in. And the audit is, it's an Excel spreadsheet, so it will calculate your GPA. So and it's editable. You can edit it as well. So we put it in there so we have what your GPA is right now in Orion. If you're not sure what grades you will get for your current classes, for spring 2021, you can then plug in those grades to see what you think you may get. So that helps you plan as well. So if you are not sure you're doing that well and you think maybe I'll get a C in the class, you can put that into e-learning or into your degree audit to see exactly what that will do to your GPA. If you think you're doing great, you can also put those grades with A's and B's into your degree plan to see what that will do to your GPA. If you think you will fail a class, you can put that in there to see how far it will push down your GPA. And if that happens, definitely contact us. We can talk to you about what your options are and if you can possibly repeat that class. But this degree plan allows you to really help do some planning, because sometimes students are not sure what their GPA will be. And in Orion, there is no calculator, but this at least allows you to do the calculations. And so you can know, if you will maybe be on probation next semester, then you could talk to us about what that means for your future. Or if you are not doing that well currently and maybe your GPA is below 3.0, and you think you're going to do better, we can talk to you about what happens once it does reach the 3.0. And if there's any holes in your account, we can have those removed.
Yeah, Angela, thank you so much. I think that students don't use that resource to the extent you should, but you should absolutely start with that degree plan or that degree audit in e-learning. Yes. And really study and look, because it is your roadmap. And it will save you from having to make time to meet with an advisor. All of that information is there. And if you are struggling to decide based on what your career objective is, do I take this elective or that elective? Go meet with your program director or your academic support coordinator. They're going to be able to tell you the differences in those courses and which might be a better fit given what you want to do post-graduation. So be sure to do that. Now, Angela, you very briefly mentioned something that you knew we would come back to, and that is the catalog.
Yes.
Students often get confused about the catalog that they are under. So can you talk about that for just a minute?
Yes. So the catalog that you are under is based off of when you started the program, usually. So if you are a fall 2020 student, let's say that's when you came into UTD for your MS degree with JSOM, you are under that fall 2020 catalog. If you start in a spring semester, say you are a spring 21 student, you are under the catalog for the fall that was before. If it sounds weird when you say it that way, but technically fall 20 and spring 2021 students are on the same catalog. So a catalog starts in the fall semester. It includes fall, spring, and summer of that school year, that academic year. And then the new catalog will begin the next fall. So if something changes and you're on the fall 20 catalog and something changes in fall 2021, that does not concern you if you started on that fall 20 catalog. You only follow the classes that you have in that catalog that you see. So if you're MS supply chain that started under the fall 20 catalog, that is what you follow. That is your degree plan.
Unless
you do a change of program.
Now remember,
or change of catalog.
You can do a change of catalog to a future catalog, but you can never go backwards.
No.
No going backwards.
No. But you can go forward if there is something that changes that you think that maybe that will be better for your academic career or your future career with a job. You could look to see, maybe I can change to the new catalog. Now, the issue is that you must follow whatever the requirements are for that new catalog. So if there's a class that is not on that new catalog, you could lose that class. Or if there's a new internship requirement, you have to follow that internship requirement. You can't pick and choose which catalog you want to follow. Once you are in the new catalog, you must follow that catalog.
You follow the whole catalog.
The whole thing, yeah.
You can't pick and choose like a buffet line. You know, so folks, let's talk about something that I know students are going to still have questions about. And that's with regard to the exceptions to academic grading for fall and spring. So remember that students have the ability to change 3 of their grades to pass if they wanted to do that other than a grade. Now, you still have the ability to choose your 3 classes. Now, I was a little bit upset when I saw that students who had A minuses in courses chose pass over that A minus. Oh man, I was like, why would you give up an A minus? Now, clearly those students are probably trying to protect a 4.0, and I understand that, but I would be very cautious if you have a good grade like that to exchange it for a pass trying to protect a 4.0, because an employer doesn't know what pass means. An employer knows what A minus means. So, you know, just be very thoughtful. Now, you have the ability up until, I think, is it May 20th, Norma? I think it's May 20th. You have until May, is it May the 20th? I can't not remember the deadlines, to May the 10th. You have until May the 10th to make a decision as to which 3 classes. Is that right, ladies?
No, I think May the 10th is
the withdrawal date?
Yes.
So we'll find the exact date in terms of when you can choose pass fail. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But if you graduated in December, you had only until January the 11th. There, I was right. It is May 20th.
Yes,
you're
right.
You have until May the 20th to decide how to use 3 pass fails. If you don't have to use them, you're not required to use them. It's if that will help you because of circumstance, the option is there. But do be very thoughtful. Anybody that makes a decision to change a grade to pass before they've seen all of their grades from fall and spring, oh, I don't quite understand that. I would wait. I would look at all of it. And again, you know, it just, it's painful to think about choosing a pass when you had a grade of an A minus. But I understand trying to protect a 4.0, but that's a tough one. What are the other typical questions, Angela, that our students are going to be concerned about from a registration perspective? And where can they go get help to do it? Like if they wanted to talk to an advisor about career related issues, where would you recommend they go to kind of get that kind of assistance?
Yes. So on the JSOM website, the jindal.utdallas.edu website. Thank you, Norma. If you go to the top, you'll see advising. You click there, and you can find there's a way to make appointments. So if you are undergraduate, of course, you would schedule appointment there. But for masters, you could schedule appointment with an advisor. And we do take out, we take appointments about 2 weeks in advance. So you can meet with an advisor. It is virtual at this point, but you can definitely talk to someone. If you need a little bit more assistance immediately, I would say, you can also click on the JSOM help desk, the JSOM questions desk there. Yes, they we have many people that are helping with that. They're great. They get your questions done very quickly. So if you just have a quick question, this would be the best place to go. But if it's something very in depth, I would say meet with an advisor by making an appointment or by emailing us at jsomgradvising@utdallas.edu. We have many advisors manning that website as well, or that email, so we can help you with that. We also have videos here on our website for everything on how to register, how to navigate Orion. So I would say also start with this because one of your questions could be answered within these videos. And then if you have questions about your schedule after all of this, you're just not sure, like I've looked at everything, I have this question that's not answered with these videos, I would then say reach out to your advisor. If it is something very specific about a course or about your career goals, I would actually recommend that you reach out to your program. So advising can help you with how to plan your schedule, some of the technical aspects of how to do things. Like I have 4 more classes left, but I'm not sure where they fit. We can look at your degree audit with you for that. But if it's something that is particular to a course that will help you with your career, if you're trying to choose between, I don't know, SAS and R, that I would say talk to your program so that you can really get the all the details about what those classes what they are and what they can offer you.
Angela, that's
And they're
such
also
great
there
advice.
on
That's
the same
such great
page.
advice for our students because there are lots of resources. And remember, advising helps you with the transactional part of registering for classes and understanding how to plan out your schedule. The very in-depth questions about courses and concentrations and tracks and is this better for me or is that better for me given what I want to do? That is a great thing to ask a program director. Now, David, who is an assistant dean on the grad side of the house, also is a program director for supply chain. David, why do you think students are a little bit reluctant to go to the program for that kind of career advice, or even the career center for a career, the Jindal Career Center for that kind of help?
No, I think that's a good question. I'm waiting for the red box to come up. Doesn't say I'm live yet. I'm hoping I am. There we go. No, that's a great question, Dean Powell. I think the reason that they're somewhat reluctant to ask that question is I think there's a general sense, at least for the students that I work with in the MSSDM program, I think there's a general feeling that we need to go to the careers first, and that careers is the ultimate. They're kind of the ultimate plan on that. But the funny thing about it is, Dean Kim and Fiona Hunter and the team at CMC, we work together all the time. So there's a lot of questions they'll ask them, and they'll say, well, you need to really talk to David about this, or I'll say, no, you need to really talk to CMC about it. I think it's just building that awareness about who to get that career advice from. One of the things that I do for my students is sit down and take a look at, what are their career aspirations, how they're mapping their program back to Angela's point about the career statement and looking at their degree plan. What kind of courses do they need to schedule to make sure that they're on track for those career paths in supply chain? And our program directors, for the most part, are very, very knowledgeable about those fields. And if they don't know the answer to it, the great thing is they know industry people who can help get you that information. So that's what I think is that it's just generally the feeling is that we go over to CMC first to ask all those questions and then to the program directors. But yeah, it's a shared responsibility.
It certainly is, David. Thank you so much for that in-depth answer. You know, I tell students all the time that you don't think about your career when you're getting close to done. You think about your career the day you start.
Yes.
And for those of you that are thinking about positioning yourself for a specific type of job, I would strongly encourage you to go out and pull down some positions that you want to get when you're done, when you've graduated, and look at what those jobs are requiring in terms of technical skills, general content knowledge, and then plan your degree program around those kinds of career goals. And then you'll be more prepared than to get to the end and say, oh my gosh, I wanted to be in cybersecurity, but yet I only took one cybersecurity class. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind. You know, all of our program directors and program managers and academic support coordinators, and Norma, thank you. You've got a good example on the screen. This is the Connect with Us button that is through advising, and I think it's a great tool that will help you find the people that can help you given the degree program that you are enrolled in. And I just love how, and I don't think students really know about this little handy Connect with Us place. But there are lots of resources where you can get quick answers, go to the JSOM question desk. More technical questions about registrations and holds or your degree plan of itself, go to advising. If it's career related, talk to your program and talk to the CMC. But never hesitate to ask anybody a question, including me. I'll go and work with you to find the answers to those questions. So Angela, what about a student who is thinking about changing their degree program, or a student who is adding a double degree? Can you talk a little bit about the fact that you just don't get to add a degree? You have to technically apply for the degree. Can you talk a little bit about changing your program to a program different than what you were admitted to, and then also adding a double degree?
Yes, Dean Powell. So in order to change your program, you will be essentially doing a mini application. It is a change of program form, but it is reviewed in the same way that the application is reviewed. So you do have to meet the requirements for that degree to be accepted into the new degree. You also have to be in good academic standing. So if you have a GPA below the 3.0 requirement, you cannot do a change of program. You can do a change of catalog year, but that is that's not the exact same as a program, since you will be in the same program, just different catalog. And if you do want to change, I would say I do recommend that you contact one of the advisors at our website, just so you can talk to us about it. We can look at your degree audit to make sure that what classes that you took in your first degree will also count for your new degree. Because that is also an issue that you may not be able to use all the classes. If you were accounting first and then you wanted to change to marketing, sometimes those classes don't count for both. If you are not sure about it, you can also talk to the program director if you have an idea of what your career goals could be with that new degree. I would say start with them as well. But we do have deadlines for change of programs. So there's like a change of program season. And on our website for the Jindal School of Management, under advising, we have a JSOM policies page. And Norma can pull that up for graduate and undergraduate. And that gives you all of the the deadline essentially on when you can change your program. So we begin the change of program the first day of registration, and then it goes all the way. There you go. Thank you, Norma. Change program requests will be accepted only the following semester from the first day of registration up to 4 weeks before the classes begin for that next semester. So it depends on when you do it. It can be a very short period of time. So I would say start planning before that, and then you can submit the form to us to do that. Now, that's just changing from one program to the next, an MS to an MS or MBA to MS or something like that. If you want to add a degree, you have two different ways you can do it. If it is just you want to add the MBA to your MS degree, you can do it by using the change of program. You would be considered a double degree student. So that's a double degree MS MBA student. So you'll see that in your account as one degree. That is technically one thing, we call it matriculation, but one program in your account. If you want to add an MS or MBA separately, that is where you would actually submit a brand new application within the admissions page. It just depends on what your career goals are when it comes to how you add a second degree. If you are a double degree student with that one matriculation, you have to graduate at the same time from both degrees. So you could finish your MS portion of the degree and say, okay, well, I'm done now. But if you're in that one matriculation, that one double degree, you have to finish the MBA portion as well before you can graduate. And you get about 63 credit hours at least, and we would go over the degree audit so you can see what that would look like. If you are in two separate degrees, so two MS degrees or an MBA and an MS separately, you can graduate from one, and then you can continue on to the next. It does, but
there is that one big rule.
MBA and MS.
Yes. So if you're going to add on an MBA and you're already in an MS program, you can't do it the other way around and get the lower number of credit hours.
No, you have to. If you're adding the MBA to your MS, you would have to graduate from your MS first in order to get the lower credit hours. If you do it where you graduate from your MBA first, you do have additional credit hours that you would have to complete before you can graduate from the second degree.
You know, but all these things are kind of complicated, right, Angela?
Yeah. So just talk to us before you make any of these decisions. A lot of people do the double degree because it is the easiest one to navigate because it kind of makes you graduate at the end. You don't get much choice on how you do the graduation. So just talk to us before you make that decision and you submit that program change or submit the application.
Yeah,
while we're talking about change of program, I think David Widdifield might have a question related to this.
Okay.
I do, absolutely. Hopefully I'm back to live. Okay. This is actually a student question. It came over on the weekend, very similar to what Angela was talking about on the change of program question. One was that I'm in a current master's program right now, and the courses that I've taken, how do I know if they're going to transfer into the other program, or do they not count? And that was part of the question. And the second part you just answered about the MS MBA edition.
Yeah, you kind of have to do a side by side.
Yeah.
Advisors are great at that, David, about looking at the 2 degree programs and saying, okay, what have you taken that's going to count in both places? And what have you taken that's only going to count in one place or the other?
Yep.
And what do you still need to do to finish the whole? The benefit of a double degree, doing an MS or an MS MBA, is that you're able to earn both of the degrees for fewer credit hours. That's the financial reason to do that. It's a really good attribute in terms of making you more qualified for some jobs. So it gives you a little bit of cachet in the marketplace. But that's the reason that students consider that, is because it gives them more for their money, and they get to graduate with 2 degrees for fewer credit hours.
Yeah. That was part of the question. The other part was that if I've taken courses already in my MS program and I'm just doing a MS to MS change, how do I know what courses are going to transfer into the new program? And are you willing to accept them as an elective? Yeah, I had a long discussion this weekend.
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah. That's when you talk to an advisor, right, Angela?
That's what I said.
Yeah, talk to the advisor. Now, as Dean Powell said, that is like a side-by-side. You can look at your degree, the degree that you're currently in and the degree that you want to be in the catalog. And if the classes match up, they will be used. So I know, like supply chain, if you are management science and you want to change to supply chain, those are some of those classes will be fine to match up. You can see it directly in the catalog. But if you're accounting and then you want to be marketing, those may not match up. So first look at that. And then I would say reach out to the advising office so that we can do a degree audit for you and we can show you what would count. Some programs do have electives though, so you can use some of those as long as you have that free elective area, you'll be able to use those classes. But first, double check with us and we'll do the audit.
Yeah, I do think that students need to take the onus upon themselves to educate themselves as much as they can before they go and have that meeting with an advisor. Go look at the current catalog you're under. Look, if you're adding a degree, you might be under a new catalog depending upon when you add it for that
Correct.
second degree. So you just need to be very thoughtful and try to educate yourself before you get out there, and because you don't want to go back to the advisor 6 or 7 times because you weren't prepared the first time. So that's something you absolutely want to do. I really think most of you who know me well, students out there, I can't help but being a positivist about, I don't know, nearly everything. Maybe I was born under a sunny sky and there's just, I don't know, nothing dour in my personality or my mindset. But I think that those of you that are currently enrolled, you're going to graduate at a great time when the economy is going to be opening up. I think businesses are going to be expanding. I think entrepreneurs are going to be getting out there and looking for, private equity money. And I think that that you're going to see a real growth opportunity in the next, 18 months to 3 years. I think we're going to see a blooming economy. It's pretty rather remarkable, even as dire as the circumstances have been for a number of individuals who became unemployed during this horrible pandemic. The economy, in terms of, those that contribute to, the SAP index and that kind of stuff, have really kind of done well. If you look at kind of just the stock market in terms of how things have gone in the last year, we've kind of held our own, even though there have been some really dire circumstances for people. So I think that great days are ahead. And for those of you that still have, a couple of semesters left to complete your degree program, now is the time. You need to be networking with alumni. Go out to Jindal Connect. Norma, can you show them where Jindal Connect is on our website? Great resource to alumni. And when you're logged into Jindal Connect, you can even find alumni that'll have a little flag over their name that says willing to help. Those are alumni that you should absolutely reach out to and have a conversation. In this day and time, you need all the help you can get in seeking a job. It never hurts to have an insider's view of an organization. So I would absolutely encourage people to do that. I'm trying to, you might want to search for Jindal Connect and see, it'll probably come up that way. I'm thinking it will come up that way. Let's see. Jindal's there. Well, gosh, it came to the.
It might be
right there. Why don't you click the first one?
I thought maybe it might be under career, but let me go back and I'll click on that first one.
Yeah, it seems to, but it's a great resource. I'm teaching an MAS 6102 class right now, and our students have really just enjoyed getting to engage with alumni who really feel a strong commitment of paying it forward to the students behind them. So there it is. And it's a really easy log on situation. You log on with Facebook or LinkedIn. So it's not like it's this heavy, big burden for everybody. So get out there and do it. I think it's a real testament to our community and to our culture that so many alumni are willing to give back to the students that are coming behind them. So you will want to do that. So I think we covered many of the exciting topics related to classes and getting registered and pass fail and academic calendar. But now let's talk a little bit about the fun stuff. We've got the annual big.
We do have some questions related to the
Oh,
other
we
stuff.
do. Okay, let's do
Yes.
those questions.
I don't know if you want to
The
talk
fun stuff.
about what I think you're going to talk about next, or go over some questions first.
No, let's do some questions first.
Okay, perfect. So one of the questions is, what can we expect for student organizations in the fall? Because earlier we're talking about kind of things getting back to normal, hopefully in the fall. And so this person wanted to know what we can expect for student organizations.
I think they are going to be back in full force. You know, it is shocking, amazing, wonderful, unbelievable that our student organizations have thrived in the way that they have during this pandemic. I mean, it's just unbelievable that 70 students are attending virtual meetings for the MIS club or for the cybersecurity club or for, you know, the AIS group. I mean, it's just amazing the number of employers and alumni have been willing to come out and engage these students in a virtual way. They will all be up and running this fall. I can't even imagine how eager those student leaders are to get back to having face-to-face engagements with students. So yeah, they'll be back in full force just like we will be.
So I'm going to go ahead and put Angela on next, because our next question is about summer. This person was asking when summer registration begins.
Yes, so summer is open enrollment. So summer will begin, as Norma has here, April 5th. That will be the first day that you can enroll as a summer student. And there's no enrollment appointment times. There's nothing in Orion that will prevent you unless you have holds. So I would recommend that you do the same steps that you would do for fall, minus the enrollment appointment for summer. So start planning as soon as the schedule is released. Looking at classes, talking to people about what you should take and how it will help you in your career. But you'll be able to enroll yourself starting April 5th for summer.
Perfect. Dean Powell, this person is a supply chain student. Their first semester was spring 2021, which we are in. And they want to know if they can do an internship in fall 2021 if they complete 18 hours after summer.
You sure can if you've gotten the 18 hours underneath your belt. Now you would probably, I mean, you should have completed your MAS 6102 in there as well. So it's probably more like 19 hours than it is 18 hours, because if you took 3 courses in the spring at 3 credit hours plus professional development and then 3 courses in the summer, yes, you would be eligible for an internship in the fall.
This person that asked the next question is an MS Finance student that started in spring 2021, which is a semester. And they want to know if they can take summer courses in business analytics, even though they're an MS Finance student.
Oh, wow. Angela, probably the program with the greatest restrictions on electives. Do you want to answer that?
Yes. So you can take classes that are shared between business analytics and finance. So as long as the classes are in both programs, you can take it, because there is no guarantee that you will be in the new program. So you want to be smart when it comes to what classes you choose. Finance does have classes that are shared with business analytics, as long as you meet those requirements. And analytics does not have any restrictions on enrollment. You can enroll in that course. Now, if you do the change of program and it is denied, you will be okay because the classes will still count for finance. If it's approved, you're also okay because you've taken classes that are in both finance and analytics. So you do have to be careful with that.
That's a really good question. And I think that's where we've had a few disappointed students of the past who took it upon themselves to enroll in classes that wouldn't count toward the first degree, and then were frustrated that they had to take additional hours to complete the first degree. So you have to be very careful.
Yes.
Our next question, I'm going to go ahead and put Angela back on. Earlier, you were talking about e-learning and where to find the degree audits. This person looked in e-learning and they don't see the degree audit under the organizations area. Should they contact the Graduate Advising Office, or what should they do to remedy that?
Yes, just contact us. It may have been moved somewhere. So just it's in there. Now, it depends on when you started. If you are a fall 20 student, you should have something in there. If you're a spring 21, we're still getting some of those degree audits in Orion because you have, I'm sorry, in e-learning because you haven't completed any courses. So yes, I would say you can email the advising office to double check to see if you have something in e-learning.
Perfect. Thank you. Dean Powell, that is our last question. So I'll pass it back to you to talk about our big event.
Yes, we do have the jumbo big annual event that is happening in April. It's the OWLI Awards. So for those of you that are new students and don't know about the OWLIs, let me tell you a little bit about them. OWLI stands for Outstanding Worthy Leaders Involved Exceptionally. And most of you, if you've been on campus and in the Jindal School, will have seen that there's this really beautiful silver owl statue that sits in our courtyard. And it has become, over time, the little mascot of the Jindal School. There he is. There's Wise the Owl. And so many years ago, when the owl was put in the courtyard, the Dean's Council for the school adopted it and created a recognition ceremony that would happen annually every April. And so I think that this is either the 7th or the 8th. It might be the 7th annual OWLIs that is coming up on April the 14th at 4 o'clock. We will be doing it virtually. We will be presenting the awards virtually. But right now, nominations are open for a whole bunch of great categories. These nominations don't take hours for you to submit, but if you know of a student who is meeting the description of these awards, please take 10 minutes and nominate them. Give us a good paragraph with some specifics about why this person is such a good candidate to receive that award. She's got on the screen right now the Student of the Year Award, and it shows what the eligibility is. We ask that you give us, a few paragraphs. You can't just put in there, the person's great. You need to give us some specifics, because what happens is all of the people who are nominated are reviewed and we come up with a list of finalists. And then there is a big vote that happens late in the month of March. And then we give all of the students an OWLI trophy. Now, if we were all live, person to person, we'd all be in Davidson. People would be hanging from the rafters. It's kind of like the Jindal School's version of the Academy Awards, and it is a big deal. Norma, can you find a copy of the actual statue? It is a piece of art. Can you see those statues right there? They're on the screen. They're beautiful. They, the actual artist who did Wise the Owl's statue in the courtyard made these trophies for us. We order them every year, and they are coveted. Students love receiving them. And what's really great, and even last year when we did the ceremony virtually, we had so many students attend the virtual session, and the kind of support that students were giving to each other and the accolades to the winners. Our dean was present for the whole ceremony and just had the greatest time chiming in and in the little chat capacity. So it's going to be a great celebration, but we need a lot of wonderful nominees. Norma, can you click on the past winners button to give you an idea? Look at that. So this is, so we've had 6 years. So this is the 7th year that we are doing the OWLIs. You can nominate great faculty, you can nominate a great staff person, you can nominate Student of the Year, most likely to be CEO in the future, some selfless service awards to people. So you really want to be a part of this incredible recognition opportunity and join us for this great event. It's going to be at 4 o'clock on April the 14th. It will be virtual this year, but we're going to be back in the saddle for April of 2022, and we cannot wait to have everybody come be a part of it. So that's the big fun announcement. So be looking forward to that. Norma, do we have any other questions from the crowd today, or are we ready to sign off and get on to the rest of the week's agenda?
Those were all our questions. So I'll go ahead and pass it to you for closing remarks.
Well, terrific. David, thank you so much. I know you are so busy between teaching and being an assistant dean for the graduate side. Angela, I know you're running around just trying to take care of all of the students, and we're so grateful. Norma, thank you for just being so quick on the mouse to bring up all that is happening behind the scenes so the students can find those things, and for just running and promoting our webinar. We obviously record all of these. We stick them out on our YouTube channel. Feel free to share them with your classmates or your friends. And if you have a topic that you feel that we should cover in our next grad chat, Norma, when is our next chat with the grad dean? I can't remember. It's about a month away.
March 22nd.
March
which is a
the
few weeks away.
22nd. So if you have a topic that you feel like we need to cover that would be beneficial to you and your classmates, let us know. In the meantime, keep on plugging, you guys. Don't throw the towel in. We're getting to the near end of the situation we've been in, and better days are ahead. So everybody take care. Thank you, David. Thanks, Angela. Thank you, Norma.
Thank you.
We'll
You're
talk
welcome.
again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.